Welcome to this video introduction of LiveText for Brandman University faculty. You should have already registered your LiveText account. If you haven't, please contact your Associate Dean to get the key code to complete that process. Once you have registered and completed your own account, you'll then be able to go ahead and log in. Now let's be clear, LiveText in the School of Ed is not being used for every assignment. Only for key signature assignments and portfolios, or the type of thing where there is culmination evidence that is tied to program learning outcomes. Now in the School of Nursing, it is indeed being used more robustly. You as the instructor will be able to find this information in your Blackboard course shell. So, you've already registered, you have your account, you've looked at your Blackboard shell. This is a sample from an education course. Nursing does have a different shell. And there is a link to, in Ed they use the term SIG assignment. Click on that and it opens a brand new window, takes you right to LiveText. Again, nursing has something parallel, although the shell is a little different. So, I need to log in and get started. At the LiveText site, I enter my username, and I'm going to show you a sample account. There is no actual student data here. And I log in. When I log in, I always land on the dashboard. This is a beautifully designed interface. And why do I say that? This color code is consistent. You will see this throughout all of the actual work that we do for our students. Red means that 2 of my students in this course have not yet submitted their work. Yellow means that 1 student has submitted and I need to get in there and grade and return that work. See under here, right there. 2 have not yet submitted, 1 is left to assess. Green means completed. 2 students under the green bar means that 2 students have uploaded their work, I have assessed it, completed it, and submitted it back to the student. 2 out of the 5 students in this course, their work on this assignment is done. But this one is here for me to grade. Now you'll see I have 3 quote-unquote hot assignments, 3 assignments that are in process at this time. Now these 2 have dates, this one doesn't, but it is live. If you don't put the dates in, the assessment, the assignment, the Dropbox, whatever we want to call it, it can still be live and show up for the students. I will show you how to add the date because it's a nice thing to do, but don't panic if you're not comfortable going that deep into the back end of LiveText. It's okay. You'll have all that information posted in Blackboard for the students. So, back to our dashboard. If I had 45 students in this class, those numbers would be broken down that way. However many have not yet submitted, however many have submitted and I need to get in there and grade, and however many I have completed grading. So let's look at the one that is waiting for me to assess under Test Assignment 2. I click on the yellow bar. Couldn't be easier. And again, that really lovely color code is consistent. Red, 2 of my students have not yet submitted work. Yellow, this is the one I need to assess. And green, these 2 I've completed the assessment process. So how do I get in and look at what the student has submitted? All I have to do is click on the student name. Boom. Delicious. Now again, think about my color code. This is yellow. It means that it's still waiting to be assessed. This will come in very handy. Let's say if you're in the middle of grading and something comes up, someone knocks at your door, you need to finish later, you want to ask the student a question. There's no problem because you can save it, all the work you've started doing assessing the rubric, you can save that and come back later. It will stay yellow until you actually click the green Submit Assessment button and it gets sent to the student. Okay? So this is yellow. I'm not done yet. Everything I need to grade this is right here. Over here, awaiting assessment. Again, there's my student. This is what my student uploaded for me to grade. This is their paper. This is their PowerPoint. This is whatever the assignment calls for. Here it is. I click on it to download it, and I will open it. Just like an attachment to an email, just like a paper someone sends you. Click, you download it to your computer and open it. But where's my rubric? These are all rubric graded, right? Right. Over here, lovely, delicious, nice big blue button, Assessment Rubrics. The rubric is built into LiveText. Now this is a dummy rubric, so it's not completely filled out, but you all know what a rubric looks like. All the specifics on what a 4 for introduction looks like, what a 3 for introduction looks like, what a 2, what a 1. Okay, you got it, you got it. How do I grade this? All I have to do is click on a cell. Boom. Notice down below, student just earned 4 points, and that cell is dark blue. Well, I'm thinking about it some more. I've changed my mind. Okay. Boom. Until I have actually clicked that big, delicious green Submit Assessment button, I can modify this however I see fit. All right? So I grade, blah, 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 blah. But we know our adult learners expect, demand, are seriously in need of very specific, individualized feedback. There is a brilliant mechanism built in, look right here, within the individual boxes on the left-hand side for what the criterion are, there's this fabulous little cartoony dialog box. I click that, and directly below my row, I get a comment box. So it's very easy for me as I'm focusing on the one specific criterion to give feedback. You did really great on this, but you forgot to include blah, 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 blah. It would have been a 4. Please next time, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Now again, I would have my rubric open over here on the side, and I would have my paper open over here on the other side. So I've got 2 windows open, so I can assess as I'm looking at the paper. You may choose to work differently. You may choose to go through the paper first, and then come back and look at the rubric. It's your call. But what I'm recommending, there's also a lovely little feature right here where you can completely detach the rubric so you can move it anywhere on the screen. You don't need to keep it in the frame. I can move it way over here, way over at the edge. I can resize it so that it's a little smaller, and I make it fit in whatever space, whatever works for me / whatever works for you. Plus, some of our rubrics are very wordy. Well, they're not immediately all going to show up because otherwise this would be overwhelming for eyeballs. But if you've got a rubric that's got tons of text and you need to see it all, no problem. Show, hide, rubric descriptions. I click, and every single text, word, bit of information inside an individual cell, it all pops up. So it makes the rubric much bigger on your screen, but then you've got all the information there. Now, if it's very wordy, the first several hundred papers you grade with that rubric, you're probably going to want to show all the text. But once you're at paper 6,752, you pretty much know that rubric. You're not going to need every single thing specifically broken down for you, so you can go to the shorthand version. So show, hide, rubric descriptions. Okay? So again, I'm grading my paper. I've got it over here. Papers over here. Rubrics over here. I go through and grade. I leave comments for my student. Blah, blah, blah. You earned a 4 here because you included such key criterion as. This one. Wow. You know what? No. Sorry. No, it's a 2. And here's why it's a 2. Click the dialog box. You only earned a 2 here because. Okay, I finished my grading. How many points? 9, right? A 3, a 4, and a 2. 9 points. Now you'll notice, I'm going to move this over for a second. You will notice that that 9 also shows up as 75%. And the grade does not populate into the grade box on LiveText. We have to manually input this number into this grade box. I know it's clunky, but let me explain the thinking behind it and then it'll make sense. LiveText doesn't want to force any faculty to have to grade in one fashion. This 9 points, to some institutions that could be a C. To some institutions that could be 75%. To some institutions that could be 9 points. Well, to Brandman University, we are using the points. So I finished grading, and I'm going to put my 9 in right here. I want to double check that one more time. Yep, indeed, that's a 9. I can close the rubric. Boom, rubric's graded. Now, question. Someone's going to ask, do I have to click and do all the assessment with the clicky click? Couldn't I just take a paper copy of the rubric and just put in the grade here? No, sorry. This is one irrefutable, non-negotiable no. Because the whole reason we're using LiveText is for being able to cull very discrete, specific data on how students are doing, criterion by criterion, and how those relate to program learning outcomes. This is the data that will get pulled for all our accreditation, validation, going forward reports. This is the magic, the rubric. You have to fill out the rubric. And again, you see, and yes, it's going to feel a little clunky at first. It's not what we're used to, but it is very elegant. And all you have to do is complete it, look at the number of points, got a 9, got a 9, got a 9. Boom, put that 9 in there. Super, I can close the window. It's all good. Now, I'm almost done, but not quite. I can leave one more general comment. Dear student, bravo. Dear student, please take another look at the rubric. You really missed the boat here, Sugar Plum. So let's try again. But wait a minute. I'm the kind of professor who likes to mark up the students' papers. I want to give them even more feedback, not just on the rubric itself, but also on the document they've turned in. That's fine. You can do that. After you've, let's be clear again, you click to download, you open the student paper, you can write all over it, put in your comments, bold, use colors, however you do. Be sure you save it and slightly alter the name, like Doral Bank Event Ticket 245, 52. Put in your initials, edited, happy birthday, whatever. Slightly change the name so that when you go to send it to the student as an attachment, you can easily find it and not accidentally resend the student the very paper that they just submitted to you. So I clicked attachment. Now look at this, easy as can be, just like adding a picture to an email to send to a friend. I click browse and I select it. And I get this lovely status bar here that lets me know, hang on, I'm uploading, don't go anywhere. Boom, it's been completed right there. That is what I am about to send back to the student, their edited paper. I don't have to, I have chosen to do so. Now, one more thing before we're done here. Think of it this way. Whatever I send to the student, it's the same as handing it off to them. I will no longer have access to this, well, except if I keep a copy on my own computer, but that's going to be a lot of files to keep. Or, if I click Save Attachment into the File Manager, I will now have my own copy of this edited paper that I will be able to access at any time. So if the student were to ever say, you sent me some edits, but I didn't really get them, and my computer crashed, so I lost the paper. No problem. You've got a copy in your file manager you can send back to them. Please fix this paper. All right? You don't have to. It's your prerogative. If you want to be able to access this later, go ahead and click it. If you don't, no harm, no foul. Don't do it. So again, that's what I'm sending back to the student. There's the grade. Now, like I said before, what if somebody knocks at my door? I can't finish this. Please don't panic. Simply click Save. Now watch what happens. It's still under awaiting assessment, but now there's a little icon here. The clipboard with the pencil. Easy breezy. I come back, I click on the student's name again. All right, I've completed the rubric. That's all good. That's all good. I am ready to submit assessment. Once I click this button, the student will get all of this information. This will turn green. This is no longer on my docket to complete. Okay? Or, notice this. If the student completely uploaded the wrong paper, did the wrong assignment, you can simply click Request Resubmission. And notice it's a red arrow. It will go back to red for both you and the student. It will be very clearly marked that the student needs to resubmit this paper. But we're done. Student did great. Here we go. Submit assessment. Boom. No more under yellow. Now it's green. Now the student can see their grade and the rubric and any other notation you sent with them. How fabulous is that? There are a couple little tricks here that I want to point out to you. Number one, we're not done yet. What do I mean we're not done yet? These grades do not automatically populate into Blackboard. We still need to go into Blackboard, and I'm going to move my window over, and I'm going to log into my Blackboard course. And just as I do to grade other assignments, I need to go into the control panel, and let me move these over a little bit more. Sorry about that. I need to go into my grade center. And inside my grade center, whatever this assignment is, it should be clearly marked. There it is. This is the signature assignment for this course. I will have all the students' names listed. I will click to get the row, and I can input the student scores. But there's one thing I need to add. Let's go back to my dashboard. When I have assessed all of the students' work, when these two have submitted, gone to yellow, and I've graded them so they go to green, it will vanish off my dashboard because I no longer need to worry about grading the work. All right, so it's a good thing in that it keeps everything nice and clean on my dashboard. Wow, if it vanishes from here, how am I ever going to get those scores if I haven't already input them into Blackboard? You don't need to worry. I can access my course over here on the side, course sections, or I can go up, look at the tab right next to dashboard, courses. Click on it. There's my course. Now I don't need the overview. I don't need to worry about the specific assignments. I need to see what grades the students earned. So I click on the Students tab, and I get this great breakdown of all the students, alphabetical, and then their grades that they earned. So this one is completed, so I'll just, there we go, example assignment, and I'll input those here. She got a 12, he got a 12, she got a 6, he got an 11. That is the final step. All right? So let's go over that one more time very quickly. I have completed all of the assessing for this assignment, so now, poof, it vanishes from my dashboard, but I still need to put it into Blackboard. How do I access all those grades? Very simple. I go to courses, and then, okay, which course? It's this course, and inside that course, no, I don't need the overview, and it's not about the assignments, although you could go in that way too. I just prefer to go this way. Students, because I need the grades I gave to my students. Click on it. Boom! There they are in alphabetical order, the same way they will be listed here. Again, make it easy on yourself. So separate your two windows, and boom, 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 done. That is the process. Your dashboard is your best friend. Red, the students have not yet submitted. Yellow, they have submitted and it's waiting to be graded. Green, it's completely done. And there's one more I'm waiting for. When that one's done, boom, there'll be a 5 here for about a quarter of a second, and then it will vanish off my dashboard. I'll have to access those scores through courses. Okay, but one more thing. I notice here, this one has a date, this one has a date, this one doesn't. When you get your shell, there will not be a date here automatically. The rubric, the assignment, the link will all be inside your account and your students' accounts. But there won't be a date here. Now, some people aren't going to bother with it. It's fine. It's inside Blackboard. It doesn't matter. It's just one more piece of clutter. Some people are going to want to put the date. I'm going to show you how you can add the date if you want. It is not crucial. I go to, let's think about this. I'm going to my courses, all right, and inside that course, all right, let's go inside. And now, remember before with grades I needed my students, but I'm trying to add a date to my assignments. I need to go to assignments. Well, that's pretty logical. All right, now within these assignments, look at test assignment. I never gave it a due date. Don't worry about date assigned. That's when it was input. The link was put into the course. But due date, there's nothing there. All right, how do I do this? Well, again, let's think about it. I need to get into it. So I click on the name, and I've got the details here, but I'm not worried about the details. And I've got submission and grades here. No, that's not. I need to edit this, right? I need to edit this. I click edit. And right here, test assignment, I can even modify the description if I want to. Post on, don't worry about that because that is already turned on for you. The link is live. If you messed with the post date, it could vanish from the student's account and you'll have to remember to go back. Don't bother. It's going to be listed as already posted for you. But below post date, here we go, everybody. Here is due date. Got it? Here is my due date. I'm going to make this due March 1st, 2012. And if you want to, if you need to, you don't have to. I'm going to be very specific. I want this paper due by 2 in the morning. All right? Viewable to students. It already will be. There is no need for you to unclick this unless you have a problem with students in a class where everybody's trying to do everything at the beginning. Well, you know what? If you want to hide it from the students for the moment, go ahead. But then you'll have to come back in and click it again to make it viewable. Notice this, allow student to retract submission. The default is yes. If you absolutely want to make sure the students can't retract, which you may have your reasons, it's your call. My personal recommendation, for whatever that's worth, is to go ahead and leave it because people make mistakes. They're uploading a paper, the kid spilled the juice, their spouse is screaming, where are my car keys? Stuff happens. People make mistakes. You allow them to retract, so if they upload the wrong thing, they can pull it back and resubmit the correct paper. And you don't need to worry about anything else. Honestly, seriously, the top here, just add the due date. That's it. And look, nice big fat green button, save assignment. When we go back, boom. Now we have a due date. You want to double check that? Look at your dashboard. Now I went through those steps pretty quickly, granted. But this is video, so you can replay it. And you can even turn the volume down, which will make replaying it much more pleasant and listening to me again. But we have a PDF of this and of a great deal more, whether it's registration or what the students are seeing, what the students are being told, and how do you find that information? Well, I am very pleased to share with you a brand new website. Not LiveText.com. It is brandman.edu/CII. CII for Center for Instructional Innovation. brandman.edu/CII. So here we go. Here is the faculty resource site. You see there's already several materials up there. There will be quite a bit more coming. We will be posting materials specifically for staff and advisors. so they will also have access to all kinds of videos, and for the students. So if your students are having trouble with LiveText, you can send them not only to the LiveText help, but to the CII site for help. And you see for students, we already have a video on how to register with LiveText. We have the PDF on how to use LiveText. We have the LiveText walkthrough for students. And if anyone wants to come to live training, we have the Entering a Brandman University conference room for students. So you see, there are multiple ways of supporting people. There are multiple ways of using the different tools. We are trying our very best to ensure that no one is feeling left out or dumped on. There is support. Now, if you're a real geek, and I use that term with pride, and you want to explore, there's an awful lot more here. All right? There's a lot more here. There's a document section where I believe nursing is going to be using this most in the beginning, but there will be documents that students will actually work off templates inside LiveText, be building portfolios inside LiveText. But in general, for you as a faculty member who is assessing work, you will be working through the dashboard 99.9% of the time. You click on what needs to be assessed, yellow. You click on the student's name. Oh, look at that. There's one that I saved that I didn't complete. Let's give him one last look. All right, I can download the paper, open the paper, click my assessment rubric. Yep. Give feedback. Yep. Give feedback. And wow. Oh, you are a very, very, very wonderful student who paid attention to the rubric and paid attention in class. 12 points. I'll move this window over. 12 points. 12 points. All right, close my rubric. Leave a comment. If I have something that I want to attach, I can, but I'm not for this student. And I submit assessment. Boom, student has gone from yellow to green. All my courses will be listed here, and again, I can always go back to the main course page and have them all listed here too. If you need more help, there's faculty online training, there's faculty FAQ, you can see the student FAQ, and here's the email. Thank you so much for your time and attention.